Hi everyone and welcome to the Gaming Night, and tonight we're going to continue with the career mode in Planet Zoo, a new game that has been released on the 5th of November and that I was looking for to play since I saw that there was a bit of movement in the production of the game. And so let's see, we unlocked the apprenticeship, a new tutorial park. Last video we took care of the Goodwin house, it was our first park. So let's continue with this tutorial. I wasn't expecting it to be a tutorial, I'm just going with the flow here, I'm nothing planned. So let's start and see what is all about. Madagascar Miss Simian Conservation Zoo is the culmination of Bernard Goodwin works in the region, specializing in simian breed and release programs, as well as championing and highlighting diverse species of apes and monkeys. I never want to be a now wants to see the most promising location. Okay, let's start. I think so far this is an interesting game. It's not the one that I expected to be as fun as Planet Coaster, because I like more theme parks than
Welcome
zoos,
to Madagascar. It's quite the change
they
of
really
scenery from dreary
made a lot of effort into creating something unique.
Apart from the weather, I suppose,
So I'm pretty curious
they don't
and I
call these
wanted to
places
give it a try
rainforests for nothing.
in depth.
The zoo you'll be working in is an ape sanctuary where we're doing vitally important conservation work, not just for apes, but for all kinds of species. But apes, well, apes are some of the closest relatives to humans there are. And yet, the way the world treats them is like, well, very much like some of us treat our actual relatives. Anyway, that's why I'm determined that our operation here does some good. If we can all leave some part of the world in a better state than we found it, we'll have lived lives worth living. And speaking of states, I have a horrible feeling I left the house in the right one. When I get back, I expect my life won't be worth living at all.
What do you think of Madagascar then? Bit warm for my taste, to be honest. Anyway, this is Bernie's primate sanctuary. It's not just primates though, we've got all sorts of animals. So why don't we go and have a look at some of them, eh? We'll start by taking a look at the red-ruffed lemurs. They're the ones that look like they should be in a Shakespeare play. Come on, let's head over to them.
And here they are. As soon as it gives me the chance to move, okay.
Red-ruffed lemurs are found in the rainforests of Masoala.
So cute.
That's in northeast Madagascar. They can actually live anywhere from 15 up to 25 years. Fancy that, eh? Okay, when you're ready, let's go find our Bornean orangutans.
Okay, this should be the cage. Let's call it a cage
The Bornean
area.
orangutan is such a marvelous creature. They're always a big favourite at any zoo they feature in, and they're also the biggest tree-dwelling animal on the planet. Assuming you don't count any lions that got stuck up one. Oh, why don't you take a better look at them? Open up their information panel and go into the animal camera. Aren't they just incredible? When you're ready, let's go and have a look-see at some of our beautiful bonobos. They're quite the characters. Oh dear! It looks like we've arrived just in time. One of the habitat's barriers has collapsed. And wouldn't you know it, one of the bonobos has made a run for it. We'll need to catch them. But before we do, we should box up the other bonobos to stop them escaping too. Select the habitat boundary to bring up the habitat information panel. Good, now open the Animals tab. And click on Box All Animals to box up the remaining bonobos. Now, we'll need a vet to recapture that escaped bonobo. But it seems our last one left to do some research in the wild. Not an ideal situation. So, we'll need to hire a replacement sharpish. Go into the zoo section and then into the staff management area.
Okay, this is a new area that we haven't checked last time.
But there's no time to go looking at their particulars at the moment. Hire a vet.
Okay.
Now, click on one of the paths to place the vet in your zoo. Great.
There
now
you
let's
go.
deal with our escapee before they can cause too much havoc. Use the animal alerts to jump to the escaped bonobo. And then click on the Call Vet button to call the vet over to capture it. Okay, that's a relief. So while the vet deals with our bonobo friend, let's go fix up their habitat so they can't escape again. Head back over there.
Okay, let's go and fix the habitat.
As you can see, the barrier's collapsed. Someone's taken their eye off the ball, obviously.
I
Let's
wonder
get
how it
this one
happened.
replaced. Select the barrier and then we'll edit it. Delete the broken section of barrier and replace it with a brand spanking new one. Now that we've done that, we need to make sure to add climb-proof barriers to the top. That way the bonobos won't be able to climb out. Just make sure you've got the correct piece of barrier selected when you do that. Okay, so go into the options section and select which side the climb-proof barrier needs to go on. And don't get it wrong. We're more worried about bonobos climbing out than guests climbing in. Nicely done.
Okay.
And I think it's high time we unbox those bonobos, wouldn't you say? The poor mites will get sad if we leave them in there for too long. Select the habitat barrier to bring up the habitat information panel again. And then open the Animals tab. And finally, click on Unbox All Animals to let them out. I expect some of them are fair bursting for the toilet. So, it turns out that as well as the old vet leaving, the zoo's mechanics did too. We'll need to hire a couple of new ones so we can help stop any more breakouts. You see, mechanics do all sorts of helpful things around the zoo, but one of their most important jobs is taking care of the habitat barriers.
Which seems
Without
like a
mechanics
good
around
idea.
to repair them, the barriers will
To avoid
crack, crumble,
animals
and fall down.
roaming
And before
around.
you know it, we'll be overrun with escaped animals. Go into the zoo section and then into the staff management area again. Hire a mechanic and then click on a path to place them in the zoo. And then click on the path again to hire a second mechanic. As you can see, you don't have to go back into staff management if you're hiring lots of the same type of staff member. Oh, gosh, we have been busy, haven't we?
Bronze
Good
medal.
work there. I'm off for a cuppa. Oh, I think Bernie wants a word with you.
Okay, let's see what Bernie's
Oh,
wants.
I hear you had a bit of an issue with an escaped bonobo. The main thing is that you dealt with it swiftly, and more importantly, without the animal stealing someone's clothes, putting them on, and then walking out of the front gate.
You see, another key responsibility for our vets is animal research. Researching animals allows vets to unlock new enrichment items, additional information for our education resources, enhanced breeding programs, and improvements to food quality. The animals' food, not the vets. It'll take more than a research grant to improve the staff canteen. Anyway, as you can see, research is a key part of running your zoo. In order for a vet to undertake research, they require a research centre. And once again, that's something that this zoo is missing. So let's build one. I've marked out an area for you to put it.
Okay.
Now, you've probably noticed that there's already a building where I want you to build the research centre. Don't worry. You see, the building that's currently there is actually a hollow shell. So we're able to place our new building inside of it. If you select the research centre for placement and then hover over the shell, you'll see that it asks if you want to add the research centre to the existing building. Okay, click to add it to the building. Oh, but that won't place it in just yet though. First, we'll need to rotate our research centre so it automatically connects to the path when we place it. Right, splendid work. Now that we have a brand spanking new research centre, we can give our vets something to do in there. Oh, by the way, it's worth noting that the vets will only do research when they're not required to do any other jobs. That said, you can change what jobs a vet does via their information panel. But let's not worry about that just now. So, let's get our vet researching ring-tailed lemurs. Go into the zoo section and select Vet Research. Here, you can see a list of all the animals present in your zoo, and also all the potential diseases that can occur. Now, drag and drop your vet onto the ring-tailed lemur to start their research. Actually, thinking about it, I'm not sure we've got any education boards or speakers by the lemur's habitat. Let's head over there and answer, so our guests can learn all about the furry little delights.
Okay, there seems to be a lot more depth in this game than it would consider at first glance. That's very nice, and
First off, let's
let's
pop
see
down 2 education
how deep
boards.
it can go.
Place them on the habitat barriers at a height that guests can see, or, if you like, pop them down on a stand. Okay, now that they've been put into position, we have to tell them what animal to display information about. Select one of the education boards to bring up its information panel. And from the drop-down list, select ring-tailed lemur. Although I'm sure that last part was obvious. When you link an education board or a speaker to an animal, you need to make sure that said animal is close by. If it isn't, the guests will get confused and won't learn as much.
Okay, it's very weird that it didn't attach to the wall by itself, but let's see. Damn it. Move it. Not the surface, but Way better. Much easier.
Okay, now that we've done the education boards, let's pop down a pair of speakers. Speakers play audio to the guests, so they can learn while they look at the animals, instead of having to go through the laborious process of reading. Oh, one thing to bear in mind is that it's important not to put the speakers too close together. If you do, the guests won't be able to understand what's being said. Now we simply need to link the speakers to the ring-tailed lemurs, just like you did with the education boards. Fantastic! Oh, it's worth remembering that education boards and speakers both need power to work. They won't do much good without it. Oh, it looks as though our vet has completed their research on ring-tailed lemurs. We'll need to collect the results. We can do that by clicking on the notification or by going back into the vet research area.
Okay, so let's see what's going on here. We advanced, we have 3 gifts. Collect all, let's see.
Go on, collect your research rewards. Just so
Okay.
you know, vets will continue to research an animal even after successfully completing a research level. I suppose
Maybe
when you're
these
in the
3?
zone, you're in the zone.
I think these...
Well, now that we've enriched the lives of our guests, let's enrich the lives of our ring-tailed lemurs. Some animals, like lemurs, will have a climbing need. That means they have a requirement for a certain amount of climbing space, and you can fulfill that requirement by building them a climbing frame. Let's find out how much more climbing space our lemur friends need, shall we? Select one of them and bring up their information panel. Next, click on the Terrain tab. Now, as you can see, the lemurs need quite a lot more climbing space. But as it happens, I've already got a climbing frame blueprint built for you. So you can either pop that down or build one yourself from scratch. By the way, it's not always just climbing needs that you have to worry about. Other animals might need a certain amount of water in their habitat so they can go for a swim. They certainly do keep us on our toes.
Okay, this gives us a chance to build something on our own, so let's try and see. First of all, I want to see what this is all about, so at least we can figure out better what kind of building they need. Okay, fine, so let's build a few of these. Let's place one here, one here, one here. Let's see. I'm really not sure about what I'm doing, but let's see if our lemurs will like it. Okay, so they can jump here, jump higher. Oh god, another animal has escaped. Better deal with it a bit. Okay, it's a bit of a mess here, but to be honest, it doesn't look that bad. Okay, that's fine for now. Let's go and get the animal. Okay, where's the animal? This is the maybe they caught him already? Everything seems fine. No alarms whatsoever, so yeah, I guess someone took the animal back again. Okay, so what now? Climbable area. Okay. What do they don't like? Okay, habitat. They seem fine. I'm wondering why it's not considering maybe I have to go for something more. Let's see. It's a very weird thing here.
Oh, that's a great climbing frame for them. They're going to absolutely love it. Do you know what would make them even happier, though? Nicer food. But that's true of all of us, though, isn't it? You can unlock better quality food for animals through research. Luckily, we've already unlocked some for the lemurs, so all that remains is to make sure they get served it from now on. Let's bring up the habitat information panel by selecting the lemur habitat. Lovely. Now select the Animals tab. There we go. As you can see, we can set the food quality in here. Just click on the drop-down menu and select Grade 2 Food Quality. Grade 2 Food Quality. My mouth's already watering. So, a new climbing frame and better food. Oh, you've really spoilt those lemurs rotten. Now, I think it's time we looked at one of the zoo's most important responsibilities. Releasing animals into the wild.
And that's what I wanted to hear.
When we feel an animal is ready, we can release them into the wild. But what makes an animal a good candidate for release? Well, their age is an important factor. I mean, we can't release an animal that's a juvenile, just as we can't release one that's gotten too old. They'll also need to be fertile. After all, the idea is to repopulate the wild, so the best candidates will have a high fertility gene. And together, the age and fertility of a candidate will determine how many conservation credits will be rewarded when we release them.
Awesome.
Now, conservation credits are vitally important.
Interesting
They're
goal.
the lifeblood of your zoo, because earning them allows you to adopt even more animals. And what's more, the animals you can adopt will be of a higher quality. So, with that in mind, let's pop over to our orangutan habitat. Okay, I'd like you to find Ageng, the Bornean orangutan in the habitat, and select him, please. You can either click through each orangutan in turn, or select the habitat barrier, go to the animals tab in the habitat information panel, and find him in the animals list.
Where's the guy? Ah, there it is. Agung. Very good candidate indeed.
I know it's sad to see him go, but he'll be happy out in the wild. And he's a wonderful candidate for release. Young, strong, and fertile. Excellent work there. You've definitely got potential, you know.
Ah, I see you've been doing some homework. Although, it hardly seems like work when you're learning about something as adorable as a ring-tailed lemur. I imagine I'd have got much better grades at school if there'd been less algebra and more aldebra. Tortoises.
Okay, so far we've done a lot of work with habitat animals, but now it's time to learn all about exhibit animals. Let's build a brand new exhibit. I've marked an area for our new exhibit. How about we head over there? Lovely. Now let's build a new exhibit in the gap that's been left. Just add it to the building like we did with the research centre earlier, then pop it into the gap.
Okay, exhibit.
Perfect. The next thing to do is adopt an exhibit animal to go in there. How about a Gila monster? Open up the exhibit trading section and adopt one. Just as we do with habitat animals, we need to send the Gila monster to the exhibit. Click on the exhibit to send it there. When you send an animal to an exhibit, it'll automatically be given the correct setup. But that doesn't mean it's completely ready for them. So let's finish it off. We'll start by adding some enrichment items. Click on the exhibit to bring up its information panel. Good. Now click on the Layout tab. Oh, well, it looks like we've only got the enrichment level 1 items unlocked at the moment. Never mind, let's turn on at least one of them for the Gila monster. As I'm sure you know by now, you can unlock more enrichment levels by having one of your vets do some research. Now we'll also need to set the temperature and humidity in the exhibit. These are vitally important for keeping our Gila monster happy and comfortable. Click on the Climate tab. Here you can see the Gila monster's desired temperature and humidity. You can change both of these by adjusting the dials below. Make sure it's going to be nice and cozy.
Nice. I would like this kind of layout for a climate system, air conditioning system.
That's the ticket. And the last thing we need to look at is setting up the different windows. So click on the Windows tab. You can edit and customize any of the windows on an exhibit. A window can be closed and blank, or have a 2-dimensional background, or even a 3-dimensional background on it. Why don't you have a play around with the options? There's also an exhibit education board. Pop them down near your exhibits to teach your guests about them. Let's add one now.
I don't remember where it is. Education board. Ah, there it is. Okay.
Just like the education boards and speakers we put down for the ring-tailed lemurs, you'll need to link these to the Gila monster. Go on. Lovely stuff. Now our guests can learn all about our venomous friend here. Right, now, I've got a bit of a big job for you. I need you to increase the number of species in the zoo. You'll probably want to adopt both habitat and exhibit animals to do so, which will mean building plenty of new habitats and exhibits for them. Go on, off you pop. I'll check in with you when you're almost done.
Okay, now we're basically free to do some stuff. We have 9 species, we have to get to 12, so let's find... Oh. That was too long. Why is it in a box? Poor thing. Can't box anymore. These poor beasts are getting crazy. Okay. And how cute are they? Little lemurs. Okay. More alerts, let's see. That research is complete, so let's continue. Like the Gila monster needs some better research. So let's study about the Gila monster. Okay, more species. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay. I wonder how can you decide which animals are compatible with one another. I guess we will discover it soon, but lot of poop here. Okay. I think we can make more exhibits. Which one? Again, under control, maybe. We haven't checked this thing so far, so well, we'll check it later. Now let's focus on the task at hand. So let's see where we can place this exhibition. A cool spot I need a cool spot. It's very intricate how it is built, this one. Maybe here? This is the entrance. Maybe something. Here as well. Okay, let's see. Exhibition. Obstructed by what? Okay, let's find a spot for it. Okay, we need to build something. So let's see what we got here. Architecture. Okay. It's very call it simple. Okay, more path, if possible. Let's see. Okay, let's continue with the construction here, the architecture. We'll put a roof here. Maybe also a wall. Okay, I mean it's very simple, but seems to do its job, so it's okay. This one can be moved closer. The M button. There you go. Okay, this is the first one, very cheap. I'll place also some flowers around here. Let's see what kind of plants we got. See if we can find an animal that suits this kind of thing up here. Okay, we need to go to exhibit trading and find the beast that we like to show. Also, I want to check which kind of animal we have. That's a male. Let's put also female. There you go. No cash. Okay. So this one here, move to here. They seem to like their habitat. Let's see if we can make it a bit better. No power. No power doesn't look good. No power. Poor things. Okay, we need more power then. Facilities. Nice solar panel to the roof. No. Place the solar panel here. Somewhere. Let's see. transformer. Yeah, we need also to find a way. Let's move it a bit. Let's connect it to a path. Let's use the same scheme here. Stuff path. I'm getting crazy here because I'm just trying to move this one. Somewhere it's not obstructed. Let's go here. Still sucks a bit, but less than... Oh, there we go. Let's move this plant here. Yeah, okay, perfect. And this one should have power. Okay, temperature now it's fine. Okay. Need to put something so that people know what they're checking, what they're seeing. So let's go to small exhibits, viewing distance. I think this can be improved. I mean, it didn't look like it was inside the building. Put also a speaker on top of here. Here better. Where's the speaker? Okay. Let's see if we're getting closer. First of all, checking. Continue. Players are visiting. ATM is broken down. Call mechanic. Lower firm. It's recovering quickly. What happened? Lost her mom? His mom? Yeah, maybe. Okay. 10 species, okay. So let's continue with a few more. Sorry. I guess let's continue here with this weird exhibit. Make another here. Continue with the path here. Now construction. Let's see what we got. Okay. Let's put also a roof on top. Okay, not really amazing, but not that bad either. Got loads of money here. Money's flowing. I want to check something about the zoo. Let's see what animals we got. Animals. So we have this exhibits. Oh, these are empty. Killer monster Goliath for giant Barbary cockroach. Okay. So we need to find two that are not either one or two. This one, giant tiger, land snail. Send to zoo. And also this one. Okay. I can't see it. Where is it? Low welfare, exhibit, humidity, very poor humidity. Batteries. Okay, now this little beast should feel better. Okay, we need some more display here. Explain to our guests what are these animals. And the speaker here. Okay. Yeah. Animals. Too cold. What's happening? Indeed, poor beast, it's too cold. It's meant to stay in the desert. Okay, we were checking about the animals. Maybe we need some more stuff. Caretaker. And the keeper also. It is a bit like in Planet Coaster, you have the skill of the staff and their happiness. No work zone, they are not linked to any zone. We can improve their skill and give them a raise. Okay. $11 bis. Now we still have an empty habitat, I guess. If we check animals and go to exhibits, we see that we still have an empty habitat, which is this one. So we have to find the species for this exhibit trading. We need the one that we don't have already, and I guess I think we got the giant burrowing cockroach. Do we? Yeah, they're here. So maybe we cannot use an exhibit, but we need to build an habitat for a different species. Let's see what kind of... Oh, tapir. We don't have tapirs. We don't, do we? Do we have tapirs? Okay. Can tapir stay with hippos? I think so. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I suppose not a very happy. Yeah, better a healthy one though. This one. Another tapir. Okay. Let's see, where's the entrance of this point? We also have to improve the habitat. This one is 100%, so it's perfect. I hope I haven't ruined it. Placing the hippos, the tapirs. Let's see.
My, you have been busy, haven't you? Splendid! But now that you've adopted all these lovely new species, we need to make sure they're nice and happy. So let's get the average welfare across the zoo nice and high, shall we? And by we, I mean you. Go on, get to it.
These look okay. Maybe some more enrichment. Let's give something for these little things to play with. There are a lot of animals. Baboon. Mandrill. Mandrill. And here we need to change the grass. Terrain. Need more grass. I need to remove some sand here. Where's the sand? Maybe. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. We need some more cleanliness, so it means we need more keepers. I think keepers are those in charge to keep animals. Caretaker, maybe caretaker, keeper, caretaker. I'll take one of both. Here need less sand and some more soil maybe. Okay. It's a bit small. Genetic makeup of this beast. Overall looks quite happy. This was very weird. Okay, more. Let's see how the tapir is doing with the hippos. If they're still alive, hopefully. Yeah, they look happy. Let's see. We need more coverage with plants. Place a few plants here. Deep biomes. Tropical. Okay, see if hippos are happy anyway. And they don't seem to be complaining too much. We need to research a few more things for these toads, frogs, Goliath frog. Whereas the snails, which I think are here, should be fine already. And there's some enrichment. Okay, I guess for now better to stop here for this park. Maybe we'll find a way to get to the gold medal. Thanks again for watching. I hope you liked the video and that you're enjoying this game. And I think so far we discovered that there is a lot more depth into this game than you would consider at first glance. It's also quite complicated in this balancing the all over the species in the different habitats and the exhibitions. So hopefully we will find a way to make it a very nice park. It's really crowded here. And thanks again for watching. See you next time. And remember to subscribe if you like the video, so I will continue to post 1 or 2 videos about Planet Zoo each week, I think, for a while, and also continue with the other games every now and then. Hit the like button if you like it. Thanks again. See you soon. Bye bye.